Hello, good evening and welcome. And welcome to the Agora Models ROUTEMASTer build. We're on pack 8 and it's stages 73 and 74 tonight. Yeah, so stages 73, 74. We've got a couple of easy-ish stages really. So, and I'm glad about that as well. So, and I will tell you a little bit about Christine a bit later on in the show. For now though, let's go through the chat. And first of all, I'm going to put my banner on. So if you want to get involved with this lovely, fantastic, wonderful bus, please go along to agoramodels.com, have a look on their website and find the ROUTEMASTer RM857. And I'm pretty sure that you'll like what you see. So they have got 12-month deals, they have got 24-month deals, and they've got all sorts of other things as well. So have a look, guys, on their website, agoramodels.com. Have a look on their website, and if you're into modeling and models or kits, wonderful things like this ROUTEMASTer, go and have a quick look on there. Right, so without further ado, then let's have a look at the comments. And then we can crack on then, can't we? So first one in the comments tonight is Mark's Mods. Good evening, everybody. Hi, Mark. And then we've got Stuart Sullivan. Evening, Mark, and evening, everyone. Hi, Stuart. And then we've got Warren James. And Warren James says, hi, all. Good luck tonight, Dave. Thank you, Warren. And Gillian Dots. And evening, everyone. Hi, Gillian Dots. Thanks for joining. And then we've got my mum, Mary Oglesby. Evening all, chatters and chatterettes as well. So, hi, ma'am. Hope you and Pete are well. And yeah, we'll speak later, won't we? So, okay. And then we've got Darth DMC. Hi, everyone. Best wishes for Chris. Thank you for that, Darth. We've got Horlix. Good evening, Dave. Have a great show. And hope you're not too peed out. Smelly face. Right, at that. I must explain then. So last night, and we live in the countryside, in the open countryside, and there's fields all around us. So, and last night, at goodness knows what hour, the pea viners decided to come into the field outside of us and harvest the peas. And 3 ginormous pea viners with tracts on and everything. And 4 tractors and wagons going up and down all night collecting the peas. Well, if you know anything about bird's eye peas, they have to be picked, processed and frozen within 2.5 hours. So there is a factory at Hull, and we're 25 miles from Hull. So yeah, there was growing them out here. So you can guarantee that if you're eating bird's eye frozen garden peas, they might have well come from outside of our house here. So there you go. So, yeah, and they didn't leave the field until about, I don't know, 4 o'clock time, I think. So there was a right racket. So we was up nearly all night. So I've got my lovely wife, Crafty Chris. Evening, everyone. Hi, darling. Hope you're all right, sweetheart. And then we've got Gillian Dot saying, evening, Chris. How are you feeling? And then we've got Ian Campbell saying, evening all. Hi, Ian. Thanks for joining. Jay's channel says, good evening all. Hope everyone is okay and well. Hi, Jay. And Yorkshire Crafter says, evening, everyone. Hi, Julie. Jay's channel says, sending Chris, get well soon. And as we all miss her, sad face. Yeah, we certainly do miss her on the builds. And yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about her later on. So, Dave McBill says, good evening, everyone. Good luck with your builds, Dave, and hope Christine is feeling better. Now then, Dave Max, little Dickie Bird tells me it was your birthday yesterday. So, happy birthday, mate. Happy birthday. Hope it was a good one. Okay. So, we've got Deke Fran Fan, genial, my friend, with lots of diamonds and fantastic models. Hello there. Thanks for joining. And we've got John's model making. Evening, Dave, and all in chat. Hi, John. Thanks for joining. We've got, oh, goodness me, I've done that one again. Come on. We've got model making truck. We've got Lewis. Evening, all. Hi, Lewis. Hope you're not too much asleep in that truck tonight. So, and D. Harris says, evening, Sir Dave. So, hi, D. Thanks for joining. D says, Gillian Dots, good evening. David Bassett says, evening, Sir Dave. Say, ding, ding. Evening, David. You'd think I'd forget me now, but I wouldn't. So Gillian Dot says, evening D Harris. And David Bassett says, sending my thoughts and get well wishes to Christine, Crafty Chris. Thank you ever so much for that, David. Much appreciated. And then we've got David Bassett saying, good evening to everyone in chat. Okay. Dave McBill says, thanks, Dave. I didn't do anything yesterday. No, I don't think I did anything on my birthday, to be honest. No, I think I was well, just busy at home looking after Chris, I think. So D. Harris says, good evening to all, Max, Modz, Horlix and Ian Campbell, Dave McBill's Ian Campbell and Dave McBill's Model Making Trucker. Okay, a Model Making Trucker says, not at work, unfortunately, not feeling too well. Oh, hope you get well soon, Lewis. And has it got anything to do with them really hot days we had the other day? And I felt so sorry for anybody behind glass on them days. That must have been absolutely horrendous. Beyond whether you're a coach screen or a truck screen or a car screen or anything, behind glass on one of them days must have been absolutely horrendous. So Model Making Trucker says, evening D, hope you're well, my friend. And Dave McBill says, evening again D Harris. And Ian Campbell says, hey again D, smiley face. Okay, so while we're on about Ian Campbell, I'll just say that in the description below, you can visit Partwork Upgrades. And if you're looking for something for your ROUTEMASTER, something special, such as a power mod, a bill cushion, a dust cover, or several other things that are available, have a look at partworkupgrades.com, and that's in the description below the video, and hopefully you can find something in there rather special for your ROUTEMASTer. Okay, so David Bassett says, good evening D, John's Model Making, Dave McBill's Yorkshire Crafter, Ian Campbell and Jay's channel. And Ian Campbell says, DS Models and Vintage, all good for the 31st. Sadly, no, I don't think so, no. So, but I will confirm that later on. So Dave McBill says, evening at David Bassett, and Model Making Trucker says, evening David, how are you? Question mark. Okay, I'm going to start that comment. So tonight's stages, then we're going to do 73, which is the underfloor framework for the upper deck, and then we're going to do 74. So let's have a quick look at the instructions. So I can share them on the screen. There we go. So this is pack 8, and we want 73. So we're doing the second section of the ceiling frame. So we'll have to excuse me while I just scroll down here to get rid of all these bits that we've actually done. So second section of the ceiling frame work. In this stage, we'll fit the second section of the framework to the underside of the floor of the upper deck, of the ceiling of the lower deck, and it will be fitted to the framework later. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to actually fit it to the underside of the upper deck seat floor, and you'll see that we're going to need some screws there. And there's a diagram there of a bus body, so you can see how the real bus body is. And then just under here, it tells you what to do with the various screws. We've got IP screws, and we have got, yes, remind me, FM screws. So FM screws and IP screws for this section. And then when we've done that, we're going to go on to stage 74, and that's the upper deck handrails. In this stage, we'll supply part of the front wall for the upper deck, and the rear wall around the top of the stairs. The handrails are fitted to each of these sections. So that's what we'll be going on to after this next section. Okay, so let me remove that from screen, and I'm going to change my camera. Okay, and I am actually warm tonight. I'm really warm and really dry, so it's a good job I've got a cup of tea with me, isn't it? So I might have a slurp in my cup of tea while the camera's changing. So just reach across for it. Okay, so what can I tell you about Christine, really? I can tell you that she's not very well, and I can tell you that we've been to the doctors 4 times this last week, and I can tell you that the doctors are going to get in touch with the hospital yet again. I can tell you that she's had some blood tests, and I can tell you that she's had another ECG, and I can tell you that Nurse Dave, or Nurse Sir Dave, has been looking after Chris in the meantime while she's not been at the doctor's having dressings done, etc. So it's about all I can tell you, really. We are waiting for not 1 hospital appointment, but we're actually waiting for 2 hospital appointments, which hopefully should coincide together. But we'll have to just wait and see. So unfortunately, the hospital is absolutely stacked out with people. As you know, we've had a pandemic, and everything's gone pear-shaped since the pandemic, and so we just have to wait. And yes, the situation is quite urgent. Yes, if Christine gets any worse, then I have to ring an ambulance. So that's given you a little insight into how she is. So, and yes, I am looking after her at home. So hopefully that's brought you a bit more up to speed with Christine. Christine will not be doing any more YouTube for the following week, and possibly for the following week after that, which means also that she won't be going on to having the meet that we was going to have. We very much doubt. So anyway, hopefully you other guys will be able to meet up and have a marvelous time, and we'll be either at home or watching from in hospital for your live streams or whatever. So yeah, we're not going to be able to meet, unfortunately, I don't think. So right, without further ado, then let's carry on with this. I've got to stop saying that as well, haven't I? Without further ado. What is ado? Right, I know the chat's going well, so I'll catch up with that in a minute, but let's have this done first. So here's the framework. It comes in a lovely big plastic packaging, and it is metal, and as you can see, it more or less mirrors what we had already. I'm using the Partwork Upgrades building cushion because it's nice and soft to work on, and that is because we're going to need this, which is the upper deck seats. And to fix that onto this, we're going to have to turn this upside down. Okay, and I will do that very, very carefully indeed, like that. And as you can tell, it's quite flexible, and it's quite delicate, shall we say. So you don't want to force anything down on here. Just going to put the light on and see if that's a little bit better. So what we get this framework, and basically we've got to put this in here like this, and then we've got to screw it in. So yeah, there's loads of screws to go in, of course, and all the way along. And we get 2 lots of screws with this one. We get the FM screws, and we get the IP screws. So I believe we're using the FM screws first in here because they're going into metal. So we'll get some of them in, and we'll carry on with the build as best we can. So the next one we'll be doing after this one, after tonight, will be the blind. Now, the blind for this model will be the standard blind that we'll be using. But the blind for the blue and white Southend Transport one will be a special blind. That's if I can find someone to make one. So I did have a good friend who made me a copy from a whole one, and I think he actually wasn't very well, and his mum wasn't very well and what have you. So I haven't actually had anything from him for a long time, so I'm hoping he's all right. But you'll know he is anyway if he's listening. So if you're listening, get in touch with me and let me know that you're all right. I do know that you are busy, like, but I just want to know that you're all right, of course. So, right, this is gonna go in very, very tightly because it needs pressing in there. And as you notice, I'm holding it underneath with my other hand, so I can apply a little bit of pressure onto it, so I can hopefully get these in to them holes where they need to be. So, and I need to squash them right down if I can. So, which I'm hoping they'll go once I get the screws in. So it just needs supporting so that you're not putting any pressure on the backs of them plastic seats. That's all. So yeah, it's been a funny old week. I do apologise for not doing any other streams with any other YouTubers. And as you can appreciate, I really haven't got the time, and I don't think there's anybody that would say that family doesn't come first, of course. So, and you know, yeah, we're still here. We're still going to be doing all our builds as we was before, and we're still we're actually amassing parts like goodness me, like Billy, because obviously the Eddie Stobbard parts are coming in, and we're not doing anything about it. So we don't have to, of course. You know, we can just let the parts build up until we're ready to actually put them in, can't we? And hopefully you'll agree with me on that one. So yeah, that's got them in. Just going to tighten that one and that one. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for like that for the time being, because I want to get these RP screws in now. Now the RP screws are 1, 2, 3, and 4, I believe. So let's have a look and see how it's lined up. Hopefully it's lined up okay. I can't actually see at the minute, and that's because. Yeah, I think it'll just go, yeah, nicely. Okay, let's have a look then. So bear with me with the chat and everything, because we will get back to the chat. So yeah, while I'm yakking on, I can tell you that we've been thinning our collection out a little bit. We did have a massive collection of stationary engines and other things. And so, yeah, we've been thinning our collection out, and I actually had 25 stationary engines, so which was obviously an awful lot. And I whittled them down to 7, and I actually sold 18 of them. And some of them were just and good for parts maybe, or you know, bits missing, but mostly complete engines, vintage engines. And then we've been thinning our other collections out as well. So, and yeah, we're hoping to save up for something special, so which we'll all get to find out about in the future, all being well. So watch this space, as they say. No, it won't be other part works or other models, and that's because I think we've actually got enough. Well, I know that we've got enough. So, and you know, there's only so many models you can do, isn't there? So, but yeah, it will be in keeping with our hobbies, and you will still get a chance to see what we're up to as well in the future. So, but I'm not saying anything at the moment because I want to keep it nice and secret, and we'll see where we go in the future. So, right, okay. Well, that is that. That's on there. So it's nice and tight, and that's actually made it nice and rigid now. We can't physically bend it in half. So, and yeah, nice and rigid, and it's screwed to the floor and everything. So, but the one thing that does make it, and that makes it rather heavy. So along with everything else on this model, it is ginormously heavy. And you can understand why with all that metal framework underneath. So there is quite some framework under there. So, but yeah, that's part one of this one done then. So let me just turn that upside down so you're seeing what we've done. And then I'll come back to the chat. Okay, let's have a look then. So, blow me neck. Didn't think I'd got that far. So, David Bassett says, good evening, Horlix. John's Model Making says, evening, David Bassett, Dave Mack and D. Harris. And David Bassett says, evening, Max Modz. D. Harris says, Stuart Sullivan, Warren James, Jay's channel, John's Model Making, and David Bassett, good evening to you all. Yorkshire Crafter says, good evening, David Bassett. D. Harris says, model making trucker, all good, Lewis, thanks, get well soon. Yeah, that's from me as well, mate. And D. Harris says, and last but not least, a very good evening to Crafty Chris. Okay. And Max Modz says, good evening to Stuart Sullivan, David Bassett, D. Harris, Dave Mac Builds, Ian Campbell, John's Model Making Trucker, Gillian Dots, and Yorkshire Crafter, Horlix and Jay's channel. Goodness me. And Dave Mac Builds says, evening at Max Modz. Dave Mac Builds says, evening, John's Model Making. Ian Campbell says, hi at Max Modz. Gillian's Dot says, good evening, Max Modz. And, or Max Odd. I think she means Max Modz, yeah. So Horlix says, I was busy modelling this morning, he. Had help from a friend with his Ford Cougar. He just purchased. Battery was knackered and it was well buried under the bulkhead. Air box off and wiring loom and fuse box. Yes. As some of you know, we have a Ford Cougar, and to get to the battery, well, I didn't know where it was. I couldn't find it. So Horlix says to remove it, just get the battery and then awkward removal in stages. Then I had to reprogram the BMS as it's a modern car. You can't just change the battery without telling the car, laughing out loud. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, that's why I hate modern cars so much. So Horlix says we can rearrange for that. Yeah, okay, we can. Model Making Trucker says evening, Mark. Diek Fran fans has sent some smiling faces. Okay, and come on. It says this is the first steps of the origin involved in building a good scale model, and especially of a retro typology that requires maximum detail, my dear colleague. Yes, absolutely does. And you'll find out that this is actually the standard model, and I'm actually modding one. In fact, I'll just give you a little sneak peek, shall we, of the blue and white one that we're doing. There we go. So we're doing a blue and white one for Southend Transport, also with Agora Models. So, and yes, we are doing various mods to it as well, including the AC badge and the paintwork and you know, bits and bobs here, there and everywhere, which hopefully you'll find elsewhere on my channel. So this is going to be a slow build. The red one is going to be quite a quick build and hopefully be finished around about Christmas time. This hopefully will be finished around about May or June of next year. So, okay. Yeah. It does warrant the maximum. So Crafty Chris says, but we'll definitely try to meet you guys. Yeah. Yorkshire Crafter says, sending all my love and get well wishes to Crafty Chris. And Horlix says, we can hope to rearrange for the meet towards the end of the year. Yes, we can. Ian Campbell says, Crafty Chris, will be great to meet with you both, but your health is the most important thing. Hope you're getting the help needed, and get well soon, and we'll meet up at some point for sure. Yeah, I'm sure we will. So Max Mod says a binge build is always a good thing. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt it is. So, and Stephen Owen says good evening everyone. Hi Stephen, thanks for joining. Darth DMC says there's a lot of representativeness with the Stobbard build of late, with the rear cab wheels and the rear mudguards not helping, that the wheels are spread over 2 issues each. Yes, that's a fact, and does bring into question whether I should do, or whether we should do 2 instead of 1. So anyway, that's to be decided. So John's Model Making says evening at Max Modz, Horlix, Crafty Chris and Yorkshire Crafter, and all in the chat. And Yorkshire Crafter says evening John's Model Making. And we've got Weld of Wayne. Hi Wayne. Evening, hanging out there, having a bit of a time this weekend, so won't be going to Hornby tomorrow. Family issues, but it is what it is. Onwards and upwards, but great watching your stream to calm down. Thank you ever so much for that, Wayne. Much appreciated. And I don't think we're going to be able to meet shortly when the meet's going to be on, unfortunately, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see a bit nearer the time, because Christine is quite poorly. So okay, right. David Martin says good evening everyone. Come Butler, let's get the bus out. Yes, let's get the bus out, Butler. So David Bassett says good evening Stephen Owen, and Ian Campbell says evening to Weld of Wayne, and David Bassett says, good evening, Weld of Wayne. Sorry to hear you have family problems. Hope you are not too stressed. Yeah, let's hope so too, Wayne. Let's hope it solves itself shortly. So Max Mod says, evening, Weld of Wayne. And D Harris says, Stephen Owen, good evening, Steve-O, says D. Okay, I'm going to start the comment there and then carry on with the build. Okay. So stage 74 then, what's that? Let's get rid of this over there. So it'll give us a little bit of space. I may need that back shortly. Let's get this. Oh, I can pick it up. So yeah, I'm actually using the tray. So we're going to need all these bits here. So, and I will explain to you what they are in a second. Just getting out this ginormous tray. So I'm using the old Hachette magazine instructions, and that's because looking across the computer is that way, and I'm this way, is a bit awkward. So we'll do what we can. Okay, let me sort these out into bits and pieces, and then we'll crack on, as Geordie Dave says. And I must find my own phrase instead of crack on. And what it Mark says, let's build. So, all these good phrases are all taken up by these good people. So, right, okay, so what have we got here then? So we've got the rear wall, which is this one. And this goes, basically it goes around the back end of the bus as you come up the stairs. It's what's called in the trade a decency panel. And that's so you can just not look that way onto somebody's knees, if you know what I mean. So they call them a decency panel. So so that's top of the stairs. Then we've got a little light, which I've just noticed has got a little bit of flash on it, which might have to come off. So I have got somewhere. Yeah, I've got a knife, so I will use that on there in a minute. So we've got a little light, little lamp, and then we've got the handrail, which is the curved one there. So that's the curved handrail that obviously goes across the top there. We've got the L-shaped one there, and we've got the little joint there, which is also in plastic chrome. So these are plastic chrome, by the way. Then we've got the straight bit of plastic chrome. which is the handrail. Then we've got the front destination cover. Now this would go on the inside of the bus. So if you were sat on the front seats, you'd be kicking that plate there. Okay, and if you was a little devil at school, you'd be kicking that plate and annoying the driver downstairs. So yeah, generally speaking, these were covers that went over the destination blind, because behind there would be the destination blind. So you'd be able to undo that with a special key, get into the back end of the destination blind, and maybe replace the lights if necessary, or put a new blind in, or a new track runner or something, so you'd be able to get in the back there. So that's that. And then we've got the front inside of the front windows, and this is the inside, of course. So it'll be a nice grey with silver right round the outside edge, and some sun yellow. So, and pretty much all ROUTEMASTER buses in the inside on the roof, and on the inside roof and just at the top of the windows here was painted in a colour called sun yellow. That's S-U-N-G, sun yellow. And basically it looked like a bit like nicotine stained. So, and that's because obviously in them days people smoked, and where did the nicotine go? It went on the ceiling, and if it was already nicotine coloured, then it didn't look so bad. So yeah, that's a London transport for you. So then we've got the handrail which goes across the front there of the destination box. Then we've got two lots of screws. We've got JP screws and we've got AP screws. Okay, so what we're going to do first then. So first of all, then we take this decency panel. Just going to move these bits out of the way. So I think we might need these in a second or two. So we're going to take the decency panel and we're going to put the rail across the top there. So as always, get it in the right orientation to the magazine, and we're going to pop that into there. Now, all being well, it'll pop into there, but I seem to remember that this would want actually just a little bit taken out, because it's very, very tight. So if I remember rightly, it goes in that pin there and that pin there. Okay, let's just have a look. I'm just going to see if I can find my little file, just to see what we can do with it. And I can't actually find my little file. Where's it gone? Oh, that's a disaster, isn't it? Never mind. Yeah, I'll use that one. So I'm pretty sure that's going. Okay. Oh, my my file drawer's too far away. So right, let's have a look. Pretty sure it'll go in. Let's just see if there's any bears on there first. No, I think it's okay actually. What about that one? Yeah, I think it's okay. Let's just double check. Yep, I'm pretty sure they'll go in there. So it's going to be a tight fit, I reckon. So let's get this one started first. With it being right in the corner. Oops, that's a lot of good, isn't it? Blimey. Is that going to go in there now? Sorry, I'm having to take it off camera to put it right next to me. Come on, get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. I'm having to do it on the desk off this mat. So come on. Push. I've got no strength, guys. I've got no strength at all. So I am here, I can assure you. Now I'm going to have to find something to actually clear that hole. So you're going to have to bear with me just slightly while I find my little file. Good, this live telly, isn't it? Let's put that on there a second. Oh, well, I should have been a bit more organised. Not to worry not. Oh, I see, there it is, look. We just need to file that out a little bit. So, Yeah, just a little bit. And that one there. Right, let's have a look and see if I can push it in there now. Just a little bit. A little bit of my life for you. Okay. How's that? Right. Oh, job's a good one. Right, so we've got that one in. So what do we have to do now then? We have to put the joint in and the handrail for coming this way. So the curved handrail and the joint. So let's put the joint in first and let's see where the orientation is on that one. The orientation is this way and the joint goes in there. And it's saying to me that the joint goes that way up with the hole towards me like that. Okay. And do you know what I've done, guys? I've actually put my my file away. Never mind. I think we can get that in. Yeah, that's in nicely. Okay, and then we've got to go for the L-shaped bracket across the top. And it should be quite obvious which way that goes. And it'll pop into there. Like that. Okay. And then it'll pop into that one like that. Okay. And then we need the upright stanchion like this one. We do. If I turn the page, yes we do. Okay. And this one will go in there and connect to there like that. Okay. And it'll be the little widget that goes in the end of that one like that. Okay. There we go. So that's in. It's very nearly in anyway. So yeah, it's in. So I might actually glue this section here, just a tiny weeny bit of glue, because it isn't in very solidly. Right, let's put that to one side. Come on, there we go. So what do we need next then? We need the destination cover. We need the handrail that goes across the destination cover, and we need some AP screws. Okay, silver there, and that's to go across the top. Silver screws. Come on, out the back. There we go. Yeah, and it's quite obvious which way this goes as well. There is 3 holes for the 3 screws. So I don't think there's actually a locating pin. No, there isn't a locating pin on this one. So just simply line the screws up with the holes, pop the screws in, and Bob's your uncle and all that. So yeah, and I won't finish that phrase. Good Yorkshire phrase we used to use, me and my dad, many a time. So yeah, well, I am warmer tonight than I've been in a long time. I don't know why. I think it's the building, isn't it? When you're building something, it just makes you warm. So I have got the fan on actually, and I don't know whether you can actually hear it. Hope it's not drowning me out or anything. So it goes steady with these screws because they're into plastic. So just nicely feel your way into there to make sure that they're all in. Yep, they're all in. So that is that. I feel sure I've forgotten something. I have forgotten something. So let's go back a step because we've forgotten this. Oh, that's popping out, look. Okay, we've forgotten the light. So the light actually goes in there. But before that light goes in there, I'm actually going to trim it. So to trim it, I'll need to pull this lovely mat up that I'm using and just trim this bit off here. And hopefully I can get this trimmed off nicely. Okay, there we go. Yep. So that's trimmed off nicely. Pick that back up again and put that in there like that. I believe that's where she goes in. Yeah, should be a bit of tape goes over that, I think, eventually, to hold it in. So for now, I think I'm going to use a bit of tape. So not that one. Let's use the other one. Let's use the bright yellow tape, shall we? So just to tape that in, just to make sure that it doesn't escape. Okay, that light. There we go. And I'll know why that's there at a later stage. So that's that. Okay, let's now then look at what else we've got to do. We've got the handrail on, and we've got to put the inside of the inside windows on, and we've got to put that this way around. So I do believe, yeah, we have to put that away around. So the outside edge is red, and this will be covered with a framework where you'll have your windows in. So, but the inside of the bus will look like that. I'll set that upside down for you. Sorry about that. Okay, and this is held in by 1, 2, 3, 4 screws here, and they are JP screws. So we'll get them in. JPs. JPs. Justice of the Peace screws. Okay. So yeah, as I was explaining earlier, we didn't get an awful lot of sleep last night. Being living in a rural area such as we do, right next to a field, there was actually harvesting the peas last night. So, and I think the last time I had them was about 4 o'clock this morning. So, and I think there was just a couple of vehicles hanging around after that. So, but goodness me, the racket, honestly. So I'm not really complaining, because I used to do that sort of thing myself anyway. Used to work on the sprout harvest, and we used to work from not all night and all day. We used to work from like 6 in the morning till 9 p.m. on a night. So, and of course that was winter time when picking the sprouts and everything. So there we go. There's the 4 screws in there. And so the last thing for us to do then is to actually sit that on the front of the bus. There's 1, 2, 3 pins here, which correspond with 3 pins on the front end of the bus. Okay. So, and then 3 pins are 1, 2, and 3. So let's get this the right way around. And they will just sit this in there for now. Because there is a lot more work to do to this before we actually get to the stage where this can stay in there. So I'm just going to stick it on there for now, and then if I can tilt it to the camera, you can actually see what it's going to look like from the inside. So you can actually see that it's going to look like a front of a bus. You're looking through the front top deck windows of a bus. So on there, of course, we've got the destination blind to go on there on the outside. You've got the outside framework to go on there, but you've got a lot more other things to go on before then, including this bit that we've also done as well. And I'll have to try and put it back together because it's coming from apart. Come on. Yeah, I think I'll put a little tiny bit of glue on there, because I think I had to do that with my last one anyway. I did. I remember now. So this is the framework with the light, which I fastened in for the rear decency panel. So for now, I'm going to slot that in there so that it's nice and safe and it won't go anywhere, because that's all we have to do in this issue, because that's the finished views. Okay. So let me come back on camera then, and I'll have a slurp of my tea, and we'll catch up with the chat. Okay. The chat is, so evening again, Wayne, says D. Harris. And let me just catch up, get this camera sorted. I don't like talking to myself. Forward facing camera, come on. Okay, what did that message come up there for? Hope my camera doesn't go off. Hope the stream doesn't go off. So Max Modz says good evening, Stephen Owen, and Horlix says evening to everyone that said hi. And David Bassett says I'm a nurse on duty to my ex following a major heart and lung operation down at Papworth Hospital on the 5th. She has been home since the 15th and is making very steady progress. That's excellent news, David. Yeah, well done. Well done indeed to her. And please send her our best wishes too. So Steve Owen says, good evening, David Bassett, D. Harris, Max Modz and Horlix. And Horlix says, hi, Steve Owen. Ian Campbell says, well done, Wayne. Hope you're chilling with the Kraken. And you in the workshop or in an armchair, question mark. Okay, I've actually only got a soft drink tonight, being on duty and all that. So yeah, I've only got, I'm actually trying out a new soft drink. It's something from Morrison's, from blackcurrant and blackberry something or other, you know, add water to it and all that. Oh, it's actually good. Yeah, quite refreshing. So yeah, I can wholeheartedly do that one, no problem. So, and Mary Oglesby says, good show, very well done. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, no, thank you. And yeah, be sure to tune into the next one, which won't be long now. I may catch up during the week, depending on what's what with Christine, of course. Try and keep you up to date as much as possible, and I'll try and answer any questions as much as possible, but there's obviously got to be an element of privacy with this as well, so I'm sorry about that if I'm not telling you everything that's going on, because you know, I think I've told you too much as it is, but anyway, hopefully, you know, you are with me on this, and we'll be okay. So going back to the chat, we've got Dave McBill says, great show as always to Dave. Thank you very much for that, Dave. Much appreciated. And for those of you out there that was wondering about that funny picture behind me, well, I do actually have the t-shirt that goes with it. So, and there is the proof. So yeah, there's the t-shirt that goes with it. And given any luck, I may well go, I may not, but at least you've seen the t-shirt and the picture, of course. So okay, and to tell you what we're doing in the future then about some things, we're going to be building these two Agora buses, as you know, the blue and white one. That's coming along nicely. We've got several bits done already, including that bit there, which is rather nice blue. So that's coming along nicely. We've got that bit done, and except for the panel up here. So the panel with a number on up there. So, but that's done. Okay. We've very, very nearly got this done. There's only a few small bits of blue paint to put back on it. So, but yeah, it's looking rather good. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that. Needs touching up on these hinges, because obviously when the hinges bent them down to put them in the cab, you can see actually red paint where I've missed. So it just needs touching up a tiny weeny bit on there. So, but that, yeah, it looks all right, doesn't it? And of course, it's totally different. VLT 172, so totally different to anything else. So yes, there's a little bit of red under the cab here, under the bonnet, and I was told that in the real bus, it does actually have some red under the bonnet. So I will be doing it, try and do it true to life. So I've got a huge thank you to say to Peter Curtin, who's done me lots and lots of transfers for this and stickers. And so Peter Curtin, if you're wanting to mod your ROUTEMASTER, or you're wanting to have different adverts on the sides or different adverts on the insides, get in touch with Peter Curtin, and his email address, and that's only by email. His email address is in the description down below. And what can I say with Peter? His work is absolutely phenomenal. It's fantastic, and we'll prove all that once we start putting this together. All Peter Curtin's adverts and stickers are all going on this model. So yeah, and you will see them all. So yeah, look out for that. And well, we're getting to the stage now where this is nearly going on the chassis, so we're not that far behind the other build really. Okay, so what else have I got to tell you? Okay, we'll be doing the Eddie Stobbart, we'll be doing the Titanic, and we'll be also doing the open top ROUTEMASTER, and you can probably see just behind me there, there is the open top of the open top ROUTEMASTER, and that's from the one that I bought off Facebook Marketplace very, very cheaply. So we'll be doing that. We'll be doing Jay's Winnie ROUTEMASTER, and we'll be redoing the diorama on there. Okay, so for the diorama, I'm going to need some figures, and I'm going to need some bits and pieces that's in 1/12 scale, because that diorama that Fleetwood J did, I'm going to double it. So I'm going to double it in size, and I'm going to make a diorama with a bus one side at the bus stop, and then cars at the other side, and people and post boxes and telephone boxes and things like that, so to make it a proper road, you know, one going one way, one going the other way. So yeah, so we'll be doing that. Okay, let me knock that banner off for a second, because that's the Facebook groups we belong to. And goodness me, come on back to comments, please. Where's it gone? So Ian Campbell says, great show, Dave. All the best to you both. Thank you very much for that, Ian. Very much appreciated. Ian Campbell's laughing his socks off. He is. Dave McBill says, that's great t-shirt, the Spitmaster and its crew. Yes, it is. Yeah. So, and John's model making says, harsh yet Spitfire crashed into your bus. Typical. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, and obviously, if you don't know the story of the Spitmaster, yeah, we will tell it again at a later date. So, but yeah, it's one I'll never forget. That's a fact, and quite a few others will never forget. And there's probably more of that to come. So where was I now? On our builds, then we'll be finishing off the Spitfire. There's only 6 issues left now with the Spitfire to get before that's all complete. And yes, I am still gathering all the bits and pieces. So, and I will be doing it right to the end. It got stuck on 92, I believe. So, and that's where I left it. Because of the obvious problems that it had. I want to fix them problems, a bit like Horlix did. So, and I've actually got a fix that Horlix sent me. Thank you very much for that, Horlix. I've actually got a power mod for it, and that's thanks to obviously the great Ian Campbell at Partwork Upgrades. So, and I've got all the other bits, all the other issues, including the tractor and everything. And as I said, there's only 6 more issues to go on that now. So just waiting for them 6, and then I'll make a start on that. The Titanic, I'm going to wait until I've got a lot more in before we start that, because that's going to be a double project between me and Christine. The Eddie Stobbart, my Eddie Stobbart is up to, I forget which, but I think I'm just a couple of issues in front of Christine. But yeah, we're still gathering the issues for the Eddie Stobbart. Christine will still do the Doll's House, the Disney Doll's House. That's still coming in. And I think that's going to be it for the builds. So once all them are done, we won't be doing any more part works. So we will be doing some more plastic modeling, because I've got quite a few plastic models to get through. But after the part works that I've just suggested now, we won't be doing anymore because we've, you know, we're about maxed out with space wise, and then it's getting them to shows and everything. So yeah, that'll be about it. So once we've done them, so which you can fully understand, because obviously some of these are massive models. So right, okay, well, I've enjoyed your company, ladies and gents, boys and girls, and hope you've enjoyed mine. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe in the normal way. And also those in my community as well, they're in the description below as well. So everybody in my community is in the description below. And we've got some lovely people in here as well, like World of Wayne. So if you're not subscribed to World of Wayne, Dave Builds, and several others, John's Model Making, of course, and Horlix, and goodness me, I'm stuck for words. We've got Stephen Owen, he's got a channel, and we've got Crafty Chris, and we've got Model Making Trucker, and we've got Max Modz, we've got Yorkshire Crafter, and I'm pretty sure that's it for now. But I think there is others as well. That's Gillian's Dots. That's a new channel, and I think that's it for the channels that's been advertised so far in the chat. Okay, so David Bassett says, great show, Dave. Thank you very much. Ian Campbell says, night all. Take care. Thank you. And David Bassett says, good night, everyone. So, yeah, good night to everyone. Keep your fingers and toes and everything else crossed for Christine's hospital appointments. Hopefully she gets them soon, sooner rather than later. Hopefully so. So anyway, take care all, and thank you ever so much for joining me tonight, and join me again at a later date once again for issue number 75 of Build the Routemaster on pack 8 at a later date. So good night from me, take care, God bless, and we'll see you all soon now. Good night now.